Welcome to a new edition of 2-Year-Olds in Training. I'm Harold Howe. I'm here with Jim Raymer, Spring Garden Ranch, and we got a half a dozen to look at, Jim. Aren't you glad you weren't in the north?
Oh, this is one winter that I'm payback for everybody who said I was wrong in coming.
All right. First set, we get a twosome. Little More Honey, a Guida Muscle filly, picked up for $14,000 out of the Hoosier sale. And of course, Guida Muscle was your horse.
Right. We'd bought Guida Muscle as a 4-year-old out of Harrisburg. He was just trying to make a racehorse of him, and he just had a problem with the front foot that bothered him too much. So rather than hurt the horse and carry on that way, there was an Amish farm that was interested in him out in Indiana. So that's where he ended up standing. And so far, this is his first crop. And from what I can tell, they seem to be intelligent enough to be a racehorse. We'll find out the rest of it as we go.
And you like this filly?
This filly, she's out of a Balanced Image. Of course, being from Ontario, I'm familiar with the Balanced Image and what they can add to a pedigree. And I thought if I don't have it on Gita's side, I sure would like to have it on the dam side. And her mother's a half-sister to Major Herbie, which everybody up home knows, and the Independent Dame family and all that. So, like I said, so far she's a ticket that hopefully we can get to the winner's circle.
And what range have you been at as we're getting towards the end of February?
They've all been in the 25 to 30 range, in handy doing it. I mean, a few of them, they can trot quarters in 29 seconds right now, and we lean on them a bit till they're about 220, and then we back off. I find nowadays you can pretty well get them to the point where you turn them out for 5 weeks and then bring them back, and they're ready still 1st of July. With
her was a Cantab Hall filly. Wouldn't it be sweet? $30,000 out of Harrisburg.
Yeah, we were looking, Cantab is, you pay a premium to have one, and we'd never really had them before, and we looked at trying to find a spot where we could get one, and the filly appealed to us because of her breeding potential, and she happens to be out of a sister to Continental Victory, as U.S. Victory, and whether she was oversighted or somebody didn't see what they want. I saw a Valley Victory in her. She's built more Valley Victory than she is Cantab, and so far she's...
And I thought she trotted there today with a purpose.
Well, so far I'm fortunate. All of them so far, we haven't hurt their feelings, put it that way. That all comes quick enough. But right. From what I can tell so far, they've all got that personality to be a racehorse, and if they don't get too lame or sick or, from here to the end, it's a long road, even though it's only 4 or 5 months.
Right. Second set, we got another Cantab Hall, but a colt this time. Newcastle, $50,000 out of Harrisburg.
Yeah, we were fortunate. We bought him the very first day before it went crazy. He was like number 44 or something like that in the catalog at Harrisburg, and I'd looked at him, and I'd had the sort of like a sibling out of him. A Keystone Activator was an SJ's Caviar colt I set a world record with as a 2-year-old, and their mothers were full sisters, Mr. Levesque full sisters. So I went and looked at him basically because of that, not necessarily because of the Cantab, because I wasn't sure what I could afford. But he came through the sale, and we were able to buy him, reasonable, and so far so good.
Okay, and with him was an Andover Hall colt, Don't Mind Me, $50,000 out of Lexington.
There again, I was at Lexington, and I was watching a bunch of them. The first few days of the sale, it kind of goes, you look at something maybe you think you have a shot at, and you're not with even 100,000 of buying these things. And I really thought that Don't Mind Me would be one of those $150,000 colts, but I went, and we ended up getting him for $50,000, which I felt was good because his mother's a full sister to Plesac and Hockhauser, and that family. I know it's Western bred, but he looked the part and plays the part.
Okay. On to the last set, a Donato Hanover filly, Devoted, $15,000 out of Harrisburg.
Yeah, I think maybe she has a little bit of a crooked front leg, but I mean, you watch the video and you watch her trot, you can't tell unless you stop her and stand her there. So far she's been clean and going, and maybe that's why she was only $15,000. But she's typical Donato. She's got that Donna rail in the background that kind of pushes him forward. And what appealed to us out of her was she was out of Windsong Legacy Mare, and I think they're going to be an asset to anybody's breeding program because of the ability they give them and the race ability they give.
And with her was a homebred Violetta, a Guida Muscle.
Another Guida Muscle, and she's different than the other one. She doesn't really look like Gita, but she's out of a Striking Sauber filly that trotted in '56. They raced Time Al Sophia up in Ontario, and my partner bred her to the stallion because we own him, and she seems to, she's she's like a machine. She's every step's forward, and she's going to have to be because she's on the smaller side. But I really think they've got the personality and the fortitude to be good racehorses, and that's basically, you know, anyone who asks me, I tell them, you know, try them. I said, you're not going to go wrong, I don't think.
And I see you've got Howard Parker helping you train. Is it difficult to get help down here?
Well, it really is. To tell you the truth, like, I didn't have any pacers, so you know the risk I was taking by taking Howard Pace and Parker. But you know, it's trying to teach an old dog new tricks, and he's learning. He's a slow learn, but we need somebody to pick on. You know, the trainer can only take so much abuse, and having Howard there, he's my buffer zone. So,
well, listen, enjoy the winter, and thanks for your help.
Thank you, Howard.
Harold Howe with Jim Raymer to Rolton Training.